Welcome back to the RFU YouTube channel. It has been a long time, folks. It has been 10.5 months at least. Literally almost 11 months since I uploaded a video, which is, as you know, almost a year. So this is my first video back, and it's just going to be all the rest of my picks for week 1, since I wasn't able to get this video up last night before the kickoff game, Panthers-Broncos. Just so you know, I had the Broncos winning, I had it being around a 17-14 game. Trevor Siemian's stats seemed about accurate as I predicted them. Same with Cam Newton's. Thought he was going to have some struggles here and there. Heard about that concussion protocol thing, and that's just, I don't really know what happened there. I mean, Cam played fine after that hit by Darian Stewart, the Broncos safety, but still, there's probably going to be some more rule updates, by the way. One rule that they need to cancel is that 25-yard line touchback rule. There's no purpose in that. Anyways, I'm just going to get right into this because I just want to make it quick so I can get it up quickly. I was going to try to get it up last night, but as I explained to you, I couldn't. So, we go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Atlanta Falcons. I have all the games on my iPad right there, so in case you were wondering why I'm looking that way. Tampa Bay at Atlanta. I've thought about this one. Usually Atlanta comes out strong in the season. This is actually kind of a tough game to pick. Here I'm going to have to go with I'm gonna have to go Falcons. I mean, the Buccaneers upgraded their secondary with Vernon Hargreaves and all those guys back there. They still got Alteron Burner and but Julio's too good. Julio's top 2 receiver in this league. Number 1 being Antonio Brown. And yeah, Julio's just gonna have a Julio-esque day. Anyways, Buffalo Bills at Baltimore Ravens. I see Buffalo winning this game. It's going to be a pretty good game, actually, because, I mean, it's not, Joe, don't get me wrong. It's my dog. Joe Flacco, and he's still a good quarterback, but the Bills' offense is going to be, really good this year. That's the way I see it, because LaShawn McCoy, in his second year with the system, they got Greg Roman at offensive coordinator, and, if they use zone reads with Tyrod Taylor, you're never going to know who's getting the ball, because there's going to be team mobile, and he's going to be sprinting out to that wide side of the field, and he's going to be setting the edge, and then you have LaShawn McCoy. He's shifty, and he can catch the ball to the backfield. He's probably going to lead the league in scrimmage yards this season. I mean, there was that allegation thing, but still, you can't deny his talent. And they have Sammy Watkins. They have a bunch of other guys out there. And I just think they're going to be good, because they got a developing offensive line too. Richie Incognito is going to be back for another season. I don't know if that Ravens secondary is going to be enough to contain Sammy Watkins, and I don't really know if, yeah, you know what I mean. It's just going to be how much the Bills' offense can do against that Raven defense that'll show how much they can win by. Anyways, we move to Chicago Bears at the Houston Texans. Brock Osweiler will win his season debut, because the Texans are just a better football team than the Bears. That's all can really be said about it. I mean, matchup to watch is going to be Jonathan Joseph, I'm pretty sure he's still the Texans' number 1 corner, versus Alshon Jeffrey, and then you got Kyle Fuller or somebody versus DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre is probably going to win that matchup. I mean, I like Kyle Fuller. Redskins drafted his brother, Kendall Fuller, out of Virginia Tech. Pretty sure that's where he came from, but yeah. I'm trying to think. Doesn't matter. Anyways, moving on. Yeah, Texans win that one. Green Bay Packers to Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't really need to explain this one. I mean, the Jaguars have improved, but Packers are still the Packers. Eddie Lacy, I mean, he lost weight and all that, about that situation. He had some highlights in the preseason, so if he gets going during the regular season, Packers are going to be unstoppable. Because A-Rod is still doing his thing in there. Anyways, San Diego Chargers at Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going to have the Kansas City Chiefs winning this one, and it's kind of the same reason as the Texans game. Chiefs are just a better football team. They got Justin Houston coming back. Alex Smith had a decent year last year. They got Jeremy Maclin. Chargers are trying to rebuild or whatever, because Phillip Rivers is nearing the end of his career. Joey Bosa's probably not even going to play, because you all know about his holdout with his contract situation. They just signed him, and he's still skipping practices. Like, the dude just, I guess, doesn't want to play for him. But yeah, Chiefs are going to win. It's just what I think. Anyways, Oakland Raiders at New Orleans Saints. During an outtake of this video, I was thinking long and hard about this one. I ultimately had the Raiders, just because Derek Carr, I saw him picking apart that Saints secondary, because Michael Crabtree, Amari Cooper, Seth Roberts, that guy's pretty underrated. They got Clive Walford entering his second season. They just got too many weapons, and one guy, I forgot, Latavius Murray. He's good. That's all I can really say about it. He's on the rise too, and he's another guy that those fantasy owners are going to be watching, like C.J. Anderson too, because he's returning to Denver, and he had a great game obviously last night. Carried that team on his back. I mean, Simeon did some good things here and there, but C.J. Anderson is their workhorse, and last night proved it. Anyways, yeah, Raiders over the Saints. Drew Brees isn't going to be able to do enough to that Oakland defense, even though, just because that Oakland front seven is better. They got Bruce Irvin, Khalil Mack. No, Mario Edwards is out, but still they got Khalil Mack's going to do, he's going to keep up the tempo this season. Bengals at Jets. I'm going to have Cincinnati winning this one, simply because of the 14 factor, because you got Ryan Fitzpatrick and you got Andy Dalton. I mean, Andy Dalton's not that good, but he has all these weapons in A.J. Green. He's got Tyler Eifert. He's got Gio Bernard, who can make the catches out of the backfield. He can hand it off to Jeremy Hill. He can even hand it off to Gio. He can throw it up. He can just chuck it up, and A.J. Green can come down with it. I mean, granted, it's against Darrelle Revis, but, I mean, you saw some games last year. You saw Revis looked a little bit out of his prime, which is true, but, I mean, he's still a great corner. It's just, you got to expect A.J. Green to get behind him at least one of those times, and, yeah, I think Cincy's going to win, although the Jets are going to put up some good fights this year. I see them having another 8-8 season, simply because of the fact that they're the Jets. I think that's it. I don't know. Sheldon Richardson suspended for only 4 games, but it's just enough. It's just a side thought that just happened to come to mind, as I was talking about it with a friend today. A lot of my friends thought the Panthers were going to win last night. Anyways, yeah, I just have the Bengals beating the Jets. Enough said. Cleveland Browns and Philadelphia Eagles. You got RG3 versus Carson Wentz, who's going to be making his first career start after Sam Bradford was traded. I'm going to take the Cleveland Browns, surprisingly enough. Yeah. I mean, I obviously, because you all know I'm an RG3 fan, I follow the Browns. I mean, I think it's all due to the Carson Wentz effect. I don't think the Browns are going to go anywhere special this year. I think they're probably going to be like a 6-10 team at best, but I see this as being one of their wins, because Philadelphia is just... If you hear EDP's rants, you'll listen to how he raves constantly about their receiving core. They released Ruben Randall, they released a bunch of other guys, and he says it still makes no difference because he just can't say it enough how bad their receivers are. That's just me quoting him. Shout out to you, ADP. I don't know. I know you yeah. Y'all know. Just go watch him and you'll find out. Anyways, yeah, Browns over Eagles. It's not going to be a great game, but it's going to be kind of sloppy because obviously it's the Browns and the Eagles. Anyways, Minnesota Vikings at Tennessee Titans. Sam Bradford will not be starting. It'll be Sean Hill. I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. Titans might make it close, but Adrian Peterson's still in that backfield. The Vikings still have great defense. Harrison Smith and company. Yeah, the Vikings are going to win that. Seattle Seahawks, Miami Dolphins at Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks are going to win that one. The Dolphins aren't going to be anything special this year, unfortunately for them. I mean, they got Arian Foster, but I don't know. It's not happening. LOB. New York Giants at Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott will be making his first career start in this game, and the New York Giants have an upgraded defense that they need to rely on because this Dak Prescott guy is pretty good. I mean, I'm not going to say he's pretty good. I mean, he was pretty good in preseason. I don't know how he's going to do in the regular season. I don't think he's going to do as good, but I don't think the Cowboys are making the playoffs, but I think Ezekiel Elliott will have like around 68 yards. That's just what I think. Giants are probably going to win because I just think that Odell can beat that Cowboys secondary better than Dez can beat the Giants secondary. So, taking the Giants here just because they just have the advantage going into this game. They always face the Cowboys week 1. They usually end up losing, but I have them winning here. Anyways, the Detroit Lions will be taking on the Indianapolis Colts in Indy. So, I'm going to have, I think it's kind of a tough one. Indy. I'm just going to take Indy because Andrew Luck is better than Matt Stafford, and if they can get some form of running game, if one of these teams can run the football, then that'll help, because I don't think either is going to have a good running game. Not that I know of, but yeah. I mean, there's T.Y. Hilton, Golden Tate. Colts just have all those receiving options they brought in last year. Philip Dorsett entering his second season. Ran like a 4.3 at the Combine. Tied for fastest last year with J.J. Nelson. The Cardinals. Speaking of the Cardinals, on Sunday night, we got the Arizona Cardinals hosting the New England Patriots. I got the Cardinals winning this one because, as the recent news came out, Rob Gronkowski is also going to be out for that game. So, if Gronk's going to be missing that game, and Jimmy G's going to have, let's see, who's he got to throw to? He's got, like, Scott Chant, no, that was last year. Martellus Bennett, he's alright, but nowhere near as good as Gronk. And you got Edelman Amendola. The rookie Malcolm Mitchell is out for the season. Bad injury in the first game of the preseason. And I think New England Patriots are probably going to lose like 14-31. David Johnson's going to be like a top 5 running back this season. He's another one of those fantasy guys to watch, along with Anderson and Latavius Murray. Anyways, yeah, that's it. And next we have the Monday night opener. The Washington Redskins taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers at Heinz Field. It's going to be a pretty good game in my eyes, and the keys to the game are, well, Matt Jones is returning after injury. We're going to need to get Pierre Garçon and Deshaun Jackson involved. I think if we can win our matchups versus this Steelers cornerback group, led by rookie Artie Burns and whoever else they got there, I'm not exactly I don't always keep up with what they have, but I do know they have Artie Burns. But if Deshaun Jackson lines up against Artie Burns, it's going to be a welcome to the NFL sighting for the rookie. So we need to exploit those matchups, and Jordan Reed needs to find his way in the seams between like the safeties and all. Yeah, I know Mike Mitchell's one of them. I'm pretty sure he's still there, and I don't know who else. But we need to get good run game going because we can't rely too much on the pass because it failed us horribly in the playoff game versus Green Bay last year. I'm not even gonna go into it. There's just too much to recap after what I missed from being inactive on YouTube. But let's see. My final pick will be, I said this to a couple other Redskin fan pages, that it would probably be around 27-24 Skins, simply due to the fact that outside of Antonio Brown, the Steelers don't have anybody major that they can rely on because Wheaton didn't look exact. He's inconsistent, that's the point, because like he had that one major game versus Seahawks, but like in the preseason he wasn't exactly having that many great games. Yet again, we'll all see what happens when it comes to regular season, but we still got Jamison Crowder. I have another guy I forgot to mention. Ryan Grant's been a really good depth option. Rashad Ross, a kick returner. Just too many guys for me to see us losing, and our defense is improved. We got David Brood, Josh Norman, D'Angelo Hall's moved to safety. We still got Breland Island on the other side. And Josh Norman's probably going to allow around 6 catches to AB, but it's probably going to be around like 75 yards, just a typical. It's not going to be anything major allowed, and some of it's just going to be those short passes. A couple are going to be like those deep posts, but that's pretty much all that's going to happen there. So, yeah, I'm just going to stick by that prediction and have the Redskins winning 27-24. That's my score prediction. Sometimes I'll make score predictions, sometimes I won't, just to show you, just to tell you guys how I think each game will go. Anyways, final game of Week 1 is the San Francisco 49ers playing the Los Angeles Rams in the first game to be played in Los Angeles since, I don't remember the year, sometime in the 90s. I'm just going to say that. I'm not a huge historian outside of the NFC East. Let's go with that. Except for, major football figures like Montana and Elway and, all those heroes. And the Niners versus the Rams. Actually, no, I'm reading that wrong. Actually, I wasn't reading it all. It's going to be at Levi's Stadium, so Niners have home field advantage. That makes all the difference. Both of these teams, I don't really see them doing that much this year. Well, actually, the Rams are going to do more just because the Niners are bad, honestly. I mean, I said in my previous video, which was like 11 months ago, that I was a fan of Colin Kaepernick's. I mean, from a football standpoint, I can still root for the guy, but if you want to know my personal stance on him, I disagree with his action. Part of his message I disagree with. Part of it is the unjust truth, and I mean, then again, there's things that can be fixed, and there's things that are never going to be fixed, and there's those things that never going to be fixed that we might have to accept. But what we can do is try to reduce those issues to a point where they won't be much of an issue at all, just to the bare minimum. I mean, I appreciate that he's donating his funds to the communities, but I don't exactly. I mean, people will be like, "Oh, you don't serve in any of this law enforcement or the military or anything," but that doesn't mean I can't respect them or respect America or the flag. If you want anything to get better, you should just respect the country and hope that all goes well. And yeah, that's just about it. I'll probably make a video on Colin Kaepernick some other time if you really want me to, but I have the Rams winning because, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I have them winning, actually. I mean, that Niners team, they're not a bad team. They just don't execute at times. I mean, if Carlos Hyde stays healthy, they can be good. and if they just play defense. I mean, Case Keenum's not going to be good. I mean, I thought he was going to possibly be decent because he had like a good game against the Seahawks last year at the end of the year, but it's going to be how much Todd Gurley really does, and they don't have any receiving options, and they have more than the Niners do, but this is going to be a tough pick because, you know, it's hard to tell who's worse, or against each other at least. I am going to ultimately pick the... Sorry. I'm just going to pick the Rams. I just had to make up my mind there. Anyways, that's about it for this video. I'll see y'all next week when I make my week 2 picks. See how I go. So far I'm 1-0. Let's hope to make that 16-0. It's not going to happen, but I'll catch you guys next time. HTTR, I'm out.